Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at how much you're going to be paying for booster boxes of the Pokémon TCG. If you're going to be buying whole booster boxes, roughly how much are you going to be paying? You see, we update this every few months. It's about time, and frankly, I get a lot of questions. And we've got more sets out now than the last time we did this. It is very much time for an update. So we'll start off with the Sword and Shield base set, and this annoys me every time, because if you search Sword and Shield booster box, you get every set. But I've had a look, I've just about found it, and what we find here is, in the US, you're paying about $215. Incidentally, these older sets do not seem to have changed very much since the last time we did them. So, you know, that's something. But you're going to be paying around about $215 for this. And your RRP, your MSRP is about $144 or pounds, depending on where you are in the world. And the fact of the matter is, this is an old set. And it really is about as simple as that. It is an old set. It's not being really printed anymore. And, you know, this is Sword and Shield 1. We're heading into Astral Radiance, which is Sword and Shield 10. These older sets are only going to get harder to find. Over in the UK, you're spending about 160 quid, which is not actually that bad. As far as it goes, it's only a little bit over retail, so this is one of those ones, if you are interested in getting this, might I suggest sooner rather than later. Moving forward a set to Rebel Clash again, and this is weird because Rebel Clash is not a set that people generally like. It is generally looked down on as one of the worst Sword and Shield sets. People are just not fans, but it's an old set. So in the US, you're going to be paying $160, $170. I should mention this is a rough price guide. I am not telling you that you are not going to be able to find this cheaper. I'm not telling you that you're not going to find the odd shop out there that's got a few boxes of this at retail. I am telling you the general trend. I am not making any guarantees for obvious reasons. And do bear in mind the listing I've shown you for the 160 is dented, so 170 is about right in the US. Over in the UK, you're paying around about 190. And this is for Rebel Clash, right? This is a set that nobody wanted. This is a set that people didn't want to buy. The Pariah set. And the value is spiking, and it's nothing more than the fact that it is just an old set at this point. And maybe the fact that people didn't like it means that it is going to be harder to find in the future. Moving on to Darkness Ablaze, we're starting to get there now. This one can be picked up. There are a bunch of listings over on eBay that are listing this for around about $140. And bearing in mind I told you that the RRP here is $144, or just a smidge under. So yeah, actually, this makes a little bit of sense. Now we're starting to get there. And Darkness Ablaze was a very cool set. It had the Charizard, not the special versions, just the regular Charizard. But this is about right. And over in the UK, there are booster boxes which can be picked up for around about $130. You've got to pay a little bit of postage on them, but over in the UK, there are a bunch of listings that mean you can pick this up for $130. So this seems to be the kind of the point. The point at which sets stop being old and start being recent enough. Remember, sets are released 3 months apart. So we've got a 6-month gap between Sword and Shield and this. But remember what I've just shown you. Even a set like Rebel Clash that nobody really likes, we get to the point where, because it's an older set, unfortunately, you just have to accept the fact that it's going to be a little bit more expensive. So if you're after a set like Darkness Ablaze, this might be one to jump on sooner rather than later. Now, Vivid Voltage is the Pikachu set. Everyone's opening it looking for that chonky Pikachu. And the good news is that this is not a set, again, that at the moment you're going to be paying retail for. This can be picked up for less than retail. Once again, will not last forever. If you're looking at this going, oh, I quite like that, that's quite good, I'll pick up a set of Vivid Voltage. Again, sooner rather than later for these older sets. We got a bunch of listings there ranging from about $125 to $135. Don't worry about the shipping on the US listings I'm showing you. Obviously, I'm based in the UK. It's showing shipping to the UK. So the UK listings, the shipping is correct. US listings, it's not. You're looking at $125 to $135 about for Vivid Voltage, which is good. And over in the UK, you can again pick this up for a little bit less than RRP. About 130 quid is about right for this. There are some listings for a little bit more. The two on the screen, there's a 130 and a 140. There are other listings for 130. So, yeah. It's not a huge amount below retail. I'm not going to pretend for a second that it is. But Vivid Voltage is luckily still a set that can be picked up below retail, and that's rather lovely. So that's year one of the Pokémon TCG. You're not getting any bargains, but the first two sets you're paying a fair bit over the odds. The second two sets you can still just about be picking up at retail. But then we head into year two with Battle Styles, and Battle Styles, ho ho ho! Battle Styles is cheap, ladies and gentlemen. Battle Styles is cheap. But do be a little bit careful, eh? So on the screen right now, we got two listings, one for 85 and one for 70. The 70 is a sponsored listing coming from China. We know that there are, unfortunately, a lot of, counterfeit cards that come from China. But English booster boxes shouldn't be coming from China. They should be coming from the US and Europe, because that's where English language cards are generally sold. So, do be a little bit careful. And the problem with Battle Styles is it's getting so cheap that you're getting almost down. There's only like a $15 difference between what are almost certainly counterfeit cards and what are almost certainly real. These are shipped from the US and they've sold 3,398. That seems legit. And honestly, $85 for a box, there are a whole bunch of listings over on US eBay for that. If you want a cheap box of Pokemon cards, Battle Styles is it. And there are some really cool cards in there, there's some good playable cards, but Battle Styles, it's been really overshadowed by some of the amazing sets that came after it. If you want a cheap box of Pokemon cards, Battle Styles is here for you. And it's not quite as cheap in the UK, but let's be clear, it's still pretty gosh darn cheap. The two on the screen here, you got 95 quid including postage, and then you got 99 quid with free postage. This is not a set you're going to spend a huge amount of money on. If you're spending more than 2/3 of retail on Battle Styles at the moment, something's gone a bit wrong. This has been cheap for a while, and it's probably going to remain cheap for a little while. If you want a cheap booster box of the Pokemon TCG, might I suggest you go and have a look at Battle Styles? And seriously, if you've got friends, or kids or whatever, or you, that just want to open a cheap box of Pokemon cards, this is a good option. Another good option, Chilling Reign. And again, Chilling Reign has got some really good, stunning alternate art cards. It's got some good cards playability-wise, but like Battle Styles, it is becoming a set where you should be spending, 2/3 of retail. And if you're spending more than that, it's gone a little bit wrong. Over in the US, we've got listings on eBay of $90 and $95. It's a sub-$100 box. Now, remember what I've been saying through this video. It's not going to be forever. So don't sit here and go, well, I've got years. You don't have years. But you know what? You maybe don't have to pick this one up today. But remember, if you go 10, 15 years in the future, boxes of Battle Styles and Chilling Reign are going to be a few grand. Sets from a decade ago that people didn't like then, you'll still pay a few $1,000s for a box. These will get there eventually. They almost all, I'm not guaranteeing that, but they all seem to. You've been warned. Chilling Reign, incidentally, in the UK, you're paying about 105 quid, including postage. So again, that is a bit more than 2/3 of retail. But when I'm saying a bit more than 2/3 of retail, like that's a bad thing, you know that things are pretty good in terms of value. Now, moving over to Evolving Skies, this is a set that everybody loves. This is the set that has the best chase cards. It's got most of the EVs in, it's got Rayquaza. This is the set that people love from the Sword and Shield block so far, and that is represented in the price. You can see here on US eBay, you're talking around about $170-ish. $165 to $180. And that's about right. And you will notice that they are selling and you will notice that this is over retail. And the reason is Evolving Skies rocks. If you want a set which is almost certainly going to skyrocket in value when it's out of print, this is probably it. Because the fact of the matter is, the really good sets that people tend to love do tend to hold their value. Now, the good news is, over in the UK, this is actually available below retail. Only a tiny bit below retail, but still below retail. You know, you can pick it up for 133 quid for a box, which really isn't bad. And as a side note, I know Rebel Clash is older and all of that, but advice from Wassy here, don't buy a box of Rebel Clash when you can buy a box of Evolving Skies for less. And I know that Rebel Clash is an underrated set, etc., but Evolving Skies really is just a way better set. So over in the US, you're paying a bit above retail. In the UK, you're spending a bit below, although with currency conversion, it still works out cheaper in the US. But this is the set. This is the Sword and Shield set. This one, I honestly wouldn't expect it to drop much below retail. Bearing in mind that's Sword and Shield 7, we're heading into Sword and Shield 10. The set's like 8 months old, and yet it's still holding its value. It's only going to be printed for so long. I would not expect Evolving Skies to ever get cheap. Unlike Fusion Strike. Fusion Strike, that is another one that is very much in the same vein as Battle Styles and Chilling Reign. This is the trio of sets where if you want to go and buy a booster box, it's a great time to do so. Listings we got on eBay here, we've got $88, $89, and $90. This is not an expensive set. This is, and again, I feel sorry for Fusion Strike, right? Because Fusion Strike is a nice set. But it's a very big set with very few good cards, and that makes it kind of awkward, and it was sandwiched between way better sets, so unfortunately it's not necessarily ideal. But I do need to shout out something here that people have started doing that you need to be aware of. So generally speaking, about 100 quid for a booster box in the UK is about right. That's what you should be paying. Now, there is a listing that seems to be for an actual booster box for 60 quid. They've sold 22 out of 25. I might go and order one of them. This seems crazy cheap. However, that third listing there is 18 packs. They do half booster boxes that do get sold, that you do find in shops in the UK. You see these in Europe more than in the US. But you'll notice the image they've used is from the side, because from the side it looks like a regular booster box. From the front, you'll see it is half the width. It is literally like you cut a booster box in half. So they've deliberately photographed it to look like a full booster box. Please read the description carefully. That middle one does look legit like a 60 quid booster box, but the one at the bottom, it is a half booster box. Please be careful. And that means that we can bring ourselves right up to date by having a little bit of a look at Brilliant Stars. This is the most recent set which has actually come out. This is the one with all of the brand new cards and all of that. There are multiple Charizard in the set. So what do we see? Honestly, we see about what we would expect from a brand new set. Over in the US, you're paying around about $130, which is close to retail, but a little bit below. And generally speaking, this is what happens with a new set. They don't tend to go super cheap or super expensive right away. They tend to be around about at or just below retail. And over in the UK, we're spending about 120 quid on a booster box. So again, this seems honestly about right. We'll wait to see what happens with it in the future, but do bear in mind we are talking about a set with multiple Charizards, so it probably won't ever become super cheap. We do have 3 super cheap sets. Right now, Battle Styles, Chilling Reign, and Fusion Strike are all sets that can be picked up for 2/3 of retail or less. It is a little bit crazy, so if you want a nice cheap booster box, they're there. Clearly, Evolving Skies is the absolute pinnacle of the block so far. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, we wait and see what happens in the future. For now, I want to know what you all think about this. I want to know which boxes you've picked up. I want to know if you're going to be picking up any of those boxes. And I really want to know if that 60 quid Fusion Strike box on eBay in the UK is legit. It looks legit and they've sold a bunch. And it is clearly listed as a full booster box. And I kind of want this, ladies and gentlemen. I kind of want this. That's cheap. That's really cheap. Oh, I might go and order this. Anyway, tell me what you think about all of this in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.